Today I will be reviewing the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And to be honest, I do not like this remake, and I'm pretty sure most other people do not like the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Because, well, first things first, this movie doesn't even have Robert Englund. But I understand for, like, some remakes, you might not cast the original actor or so. But it just doesn't have Robert Englund in it. And instead is replaced by this other actor who's playing Freddy Krueger. I mean, I think the other actor who plays Freddy Krueger in this movie is okay. I mean, I show full-on respect to all of the actors who try their best in this movie. Because I know they do try their best. But still, I just prefer to see Robert Englund in this movie because he is hands down the best Freddy Krueger in, like, of course, this franchise. But instead of a Freddy Krueger that has cheesy one-liners, this Freddy Krueger is just much more darker and much more, well, creepier. But I guess it's kind of like that from the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie, where Freddy Krueger was, like, I don't know, just, like, quiet in the shadows. And then, like, as the franchise went on and on, Freddy Krueger, like, had more cheesy dialogue. But overall, this movie pretty much sucks, so, yeah. They should have never had to remake this movie because, well, I mean, of course there was going to be a remake of everything. If there were only original ideas, but hey. I will review this movie, so let me get this movie over with. The movie begins at the Springwood Diner where this random guy, Dean, I don't know, just goes into this kitchen place. All he gets to see, well, Freddy Krueger in his finger knife gloves. But Freddy Krueger attacks him and Dean wakes up. Oh, and do you want to know who works at the Springfield Diner? Well, this character, Nancy Holbrook. Again, why can't you just, like, name her Nancy Thompson or so? This just makes no sense. And besides, you cannot beat Heather Langenkamp, who plays the original Nancy. Like, this is what I'm saying. This remake is so unnecessary, but whatever, I guess. We then get to see this other character, Chris, who apparently is the friend of Dean. We also get to see this other guy named Jesse. Are you trying to rip off a name from A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Jesse? Oh, I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. We also get to see this guy named Gwenton. Why can't you just name him Glenn or something, not Gwenton? I mean, sure, you're coming up with a different name from the original, but still, it just makes no sense. Dean talks about the scary dreams he's having about Freddy Krueger, but I don't know, Chris just walks away, and now we're back in the dream world, where apparently Freddy Krueger goes ahead and attacks Dean in an effect that looks just super weird. But Chris comes back, and guess what? We get a gnarly kill where Dean literally has a knife in his throat. By far one of my favorite kills of this movie. Pretty graphic, not gonna lie. Chris is now at Dean's funeral. Apparently she's having a dream about this little girl, apparently with like a slashed up chest. Oh, and apparently we get to see Freddy Krueger's arm, which looks absolutely spooky. And apparently that little girl is apparently Chris when she was younger. Huh, that's weird. And I guess this other character, Jesse, says that don't make no sense or something. Yeah, like this movie doesn't make any sense at all. But apparently Nancy believes that something weird is going on in Elm Street, which of course everything is going to happen. Well, everything weird. Because, well, this is a horror movie, and lots of weird things happen in horror movies. It's now nighttime where we get to see this house. Wait a minute. Is this supposed to be the Elm Street house? Because this looks nothing like the Elm Street house whatsoever. Like, come on, this doesn't even make any sense. Like, this is not even the Elm Street house in this movie. Like, where the heck is the red door to the Elm Street house in this movie? Like, make it make sense, movie, but whatever, I guess. Nancy is just chilling in her bed, apparently going to sleep, but as soon as she's going to sleep, we get to see this weird CGI effect of Freddy Krueger through the wall. Oh my god, this looks absolutely horrible. Yeah, the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie looks better with Freddy Krueger through the wall, no doubt about that. Chris is looking at old pictures of herself when she was young, but apparently her mom is, like, seeing her or something. Then, like, Chris is up in the attic looking for, like, I don't know, when she was the little girl and she had that outfit. But we get to see a Freddy Krueger jump scare, and then Chris wakes up. Oh my god, Freddy Krueger, you look so creepy. It's now the next day in school while Chris goes to sleep and everybody else turns into ash, which is crazy. She gets to see Freddy Krueger, who apparently is having his finger knives around her, which looks absolutely creepy. But Chris wakes up from her dream with apparently a piece of hair on her book. Chris then comes back home and apparently her mother is telling her that apparently she's going to London. So it's bad news for Chris because she's gonna be home alone. Oh no. Well, since you're home alone, you might have to deal with Freddy Krueger, which is bad news for you. But hey, at least Jesse gets to keep you company about all the Freddy Krueger drama that is happening. So yeah, apparently Chris is talking about like all the Freddy Krueger stuff, that like Freddy Krueger is like after her and that it's like too late. And apparently Jesse is having the same problem, like where Freddy Krueger's after him. Of course, because this is Elm Street where Freddy Krueger, well, of course gets like everyone. Well, yeah, basically. But I do feel bad for Chris because she looks really exhausted. Chris is apparently having a dream now, so she goes outside. But she does see Freddy Krueger, of course, acting creepy as heck. Chris enters a preschool where she sees a young version of herself, and of course we gotta see the iconic jump rope girls, of course. And of course we gotta see Freddy Krueger, who wants to play hide and go seek, because that's, well, Freddy Krueger. But Chris wakes up, and then she, well, sees Freddy Krueger again apparently attacking her, and she levitates, a reference to the original Nightmare on Elm Street. But yeah, eventually Chris dies from Freddy Krueger being slashed. Wow, that is so brutal. Now, I do like this kill, even if it is clearly just a copying, well, Tina's death from, well, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. But I do actually like this kill because it is pretty gnarly. But overall, still, this movie pretty much sucks. Jesse runs over to Nancy's house, telling her that, well, he is innocent and that he did not kill Chris, which, yeah, Chris, of course, died by Freddy Krueger, and Nancy just realized. Jesse runs outside, but he does get arrested by the cops, because he is, well, accused of the murder of Chris, even though he is clearly not the murderer of Chris. It's Freddy Krueger. Nancy calls Quentin. Apparently, Nancy wants to meet him, like, apparently at this library place, while Quentin is apparently just looking at about research about, like, dreams and nightmares or something like that. But Quentin falls asleep, of course, and then sees this little girl, and then apparently walks his way, apparently seeing, like, Freddy Krueger in the background or so. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. Oh my god, that was crazy. That was a crazy, scary jump scare. But yes, of course, Nancy shows up with, well, Quentin, so that's nice. Jesse is now in jail, apparently dreaming himself that he is, well, in a boiler room. And of course, we gotta see some kids here, because that's, well, how Nightmare on Elm Street goes. And then Freddy is just chasing after old Jesse, seeing the bodies of Chris and Dean, which looks absolutely gnarly. And apparently, Freddy is just, I don't know, just creeping up around, well, Jesse. And then after that, Jesse dies by Freddy Krueger in a gnarly way. Oh my god. Apparently Nancy is tired, so Quentin offers Nancy some sleep pills. Because I bet you do not want to dream about Freddy Krueger. Okay, moving on. Nancy asks her mom if she knows anything about Freddy Krueger, but it looks like her mom might know something about Freddy Krueger. But sure, let's copy a scene from the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Sure, why the heck not? So yeah, we also get to see Freddy Krueger gloves come in, well, out of the bathtub, and then apparently going back into the bathtub. So yeah, Nancy's now dreaming, seeing, like, snow apparently in her bedroom, and then apparently she's walking into this town place where she gets to see Freddy Krueger acting weird as heck. Seriously, why does this have to be a remake? Come on! Apparently Quentin tells to Nancy that Jesse died in the jail cell. Wow. I mean, of course we all know that because that was crazy. That was a crazy kill. But apparently Quentin just wanted to call Nancy, so she is aware about it. But anyways, moving on. Nancy and Nancy's mom start arguing for some reason, and then Nancy's mom just is talking about the past of Freddy Krueger. So we get a flashback that he apparently was a gardener. So yeah, apparently Freddy Krueger was a gardener and he played with all the kids. Wow, that sounds like fun. Including hide and seek. Extra fun. Apparently we get to see a young version of Nancy Thompson who explains that, like, Freddy was, like, scratching, like, her back or something. Yeah, Freddy is super weird in this movie, and it's pretty complicated, not gonna lie. Nancy looks up some information about the people who died from Freddy Krueger, apparently, and apparently Nancy looks up this random guy who's vlogging about, like, I don't know, talking about Freddy Krueger, and apparently this guy, well, smashes his face on the screen, which looks absolutely crazy. Apparently, Gwenton is in swimming practice, and apparently he has a dream, and he's in the dream world. So apparently we get this flashback scene of Freddy Krueger apparently, like, going into this building, and of course we all know how this goes. The parents decide to, I don't know, throw some fire so they can burn up Freddy Krueger. And yup, this is how Freddy Krueger dies, just being burnt up alive in fire. And apparently Freddy Krueger is scaring Quentin, apparently in his dream, which is absolutely crazy. Nancy and Gwenton apparently goes to, well, Gwenton's dad, which apparently he's the one who threw the fire that killed Freddy Krueger, which is absolutely crazy. But sure, let's get another rip-off scene where we get to see Chris's body in a body bag. Of course, a reference to Tina. Why are you redoing the scenes from the original? Why are you doing this? Oh my god. Nancy and Gwenton go to this pharmacy. Well, I don't know. Gwenton is getting some pills for Nancy because, well, she's getting sleepy. And speaking of sleepy, Nancy goes to sleep and, well, of course we see Freddy Krueger apparently in the boiler room and in the pharmacy at the same time. So yeah, Freddy basically, well, tries to attack Nancy, which he kind of succeeded, but he did not kill Nancy because, of course, and apparently Nancy's in this hospital where this nurse or so just tries to, like, I don't know, pass Nancy out, but of course Nancy is not having it. Oh, and apparently Nancy disappeared from, well, the hospital. That's pretty bad. We now get a jump scare of Freddy Krueger in the road, which makes, well, of course, Dom, well, crash the car. But of course, Gwenton and Nancy are still alive, so they enter, I don't know, the preschool where Nancy was in. I don't know, something like that. And apparently, this place used to be the basement of Freddy Krueger when he apparently was a gardener or so. Yeah, that sounds, I guess, interesting. Yeah. Nancy decides to go to sleep on this nasty looking bed so she can confront Freddy Krueger once and for all. And apparently Freddy Krueger is in the boiler room with Nancy. So, yeah. Which is absolutely crazy. Oh my god, Freddy, you look so weird, not gonna lie. But yes, Nancy decides to hide in a closet where we get a shot where he almost looks like Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. But Nancy gets a jump scare by Freddy Krueger and ends up apparently in this bath of blood, which absolutely looks really, 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 really disgusting. But Nancy lands apparently on her bed, so I guess that's good. I don't know. But of course, Freddy Krueger just wants to act weird. Nancy apparently gets tossed around the room while Freddy gets stabbed, but of course that does not kill Freddy because, well, this is Freddy Krueger, people! So apparently Gwenton, I don't know, just wakes up Nancy by this needle, which makes, well, Freddy Krueger go into the real world. So, yeah, Gwenton is, like, beating up Freddy Krueger entirely, and then Freddy Krueger's, well, hand gets chopped off by Nancy. Oh my god. And now Freddy Krueger's throat is about to be cut in a brutal way. Oh my god, this looks absolutely crazy. I mean, dang, that's really crazy. And of course, they gotta burn the place on fire because, well, that's how it goes usually. Yay, Nancy and Gwenton survived. That's nice. But we do have a final scene to this movie. Nancy's mom goes home, but she gets stabbed, Nancy's mom, in a brutal way by Freddy Krueger. And that's how the movie ends. So yeah, that's basically the end of me reviewing the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. First things first, like I said before in the intro of this movie review, this movie sucks. I do not like this movie at all. It has cool kills, it has some cool dream sequences, which I do kind of enjoy, but overall, the movie sucks. And don't even get me started with Freddy Krueger in this movie. Like, how can you just remake a movie without Robert Englund in it? And besides, this movie did not even deserve a remake. This franchise didn't deserve a remake. Like, everything was good in the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It had no purpose to be remade. I mean, like, I just don't understand that. Like, it just makes no sense whatsoever. But I guess it is what it is, and I guess it's money, apparently. Of course, there's no original ideas. I mean, there is some original ideas, but I just don't like it when remakes just try to copy the original. Some remakes can be good, some remakes can be bad. This one is not good, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it was fine with the kills. It has some gory, cool kills, I would say. So I guess that's the only good thing about this movie. But overall, this movie pretty much sucks. So yeah, that's basically the end of me reviewing this movie. And pretty much the end of me reviewing the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I had a fun time reviewing this Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Like, I really did, because it was just so amazing reviewing one of my favorite franchises of all time. I really expressed all my opinions for this franchise, and I do like the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. It is a pretty interesting and cool franchise. It does go all over the place, but I do like this franchise. What do you have to say about that, Freddy Krueger? Well, I have to say is that, I will haunt you in your dreams. Seriously, is that what you're always gonna do to me from now on? Just haunt me in my dreams? Yes, yes. Because not gonna lie, I mean, the movie you were reviewing actually did suck. Oh wow, you agree with me? Yup, I absolutely agree. Because Robert Englund is the best Freddy Krueger in the world! Ah, yes, he is. He definitely is. I 100% agree with you. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. Alright, now I'm gonna go back to Elm Street. I'll see you soon. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Alright, well, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next movie review. So yeah, bye!